Well, now I feel stupid for having wished you a happy Halloween when I'm literally recording this on Halloween, but I don't know when this is gonna go up, so. Hola! I don't believe in guilty pleasures. I don't think there is any use in feeling shame for the things we like. But I guess what I mean is, I like the manga we're going to be discussing today, but I don't think it's very good. I wouldn't recommend it the same way I'd recommend Berserk. You know what I mean? It's not something I'd wholeheartedly recommend, but it's got a few interesting things that I would like to talk about. The manga is by Kondo Shinsuke, and it began serializing in January 2020 in Comic Days. And before I tell you the story, a brief explanation about the title. So, ninja of course means ninja, and Gokudou basically refers to the Yakuza. With that out of the way, let me tell you what this manga is about. As you can assume from the title, the story is about ninja and Yakuza. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. It starts with a few panels set in the Edo period, and apparently ninja and Yakuza have always had some kind of beef with each other. So this is explained, and then we're suddenly in modern day Tokyo, in Marunouchi to be precise. A man in a suit is talking on the phone, while a young boy notices that another phone fell out of the man's bag. He quickly picks it up for him and tells him that it would be a shame for the case to break, since apparently it's a limited edition case of an anime called Flash Princess. Now I'm not sure if it's supposed to be Flush Princess or Flash Princess, but I'm guessing Flash. And this anime doesn't exist, by the way. The man is surprised that the boy knows this franchise, and they start talking about it right then and there. The boy mentions that his favorite phrase by one of the characters is, "I'll help people who are alone." The man is impressed that the boy is so well acquainted with the franchise, since apparently it's a pretty old one. The boy suddenly makes a weird face, trying to get himself to smile. And we learn that he's unable to do so physically, no matter how hard he tries and no matter how funny he thinks something is. At this point, they formally introduce themselves. The man is called Kimura Kiwami, and Kiwami is written with the same kanji as Gokudou. The boy's name is Tanaka Shinoha, and Shinoha is written the same way as ninja. I think you know where this is going. The two of them say their goodbyes and go back to whatever it was they were doing. Suddenly, a crow flies by, and it can also talk. Wonder where I've seen that before. And the bird gives Shinoha an address. On site, we see a bunch of Yakuza in the middle of a massacre. The governor is also there as a hostage for some reason, but it's not important. And out of seemingly nowhere, the heads of all the Yakuza members start getting decapitated. Like the heads just fall off. And the strongest of the bunch says that he's been waiting. We can see that the person responsible for the deaths of the Yakuza members is Shinoha. He takes care of them by using only his hands, with no weapons whatsoever. And he mentions that it was their fault that he can no longer laugh, since it was them who killed his family. Around the same time, we see Kiwami in a car talking on the phone happily, when suddenly his demeanor changed and we learn that he's the head of a Yakuza gang. So at this point it's clear to the reader that the two of them are enemies. But they themselves have no idea about the other's true identity. And a genuine friendship develops between them. So what do we think? First I want to say I found this manga when I was hungover and wanted something dumb to read. And to an extent the manga is perfect for that. And aside from a few obvious battle scenes and comedy, the manga has a few layers to it. As I mentioned before, Shinoha likes that one phrase from the anime about fighting for those who are alone, remember? Well, Kiwami likes it too, and he puts his own twist to it. Kiwami wants to lead the Yakuza to victory because he feels like they're a bunch of outcasts who don't have any other place in society. And ninjas are those who always try to take away this only place where they can exist. On the other hand, ninja want to get rid of the Yakuza because they do evil in society and murder those they love. And the manga they mention throughout the series, you know, the princess one, also deals with enemies who became friends without knowing about the other. And the thing is that both Kiwami and Shinoha think that this is so great, and that's an aspect they really love about this anime. It'll be interesting to see what happens when they both find out about each other. And in that regard, it's a very emotional story. As are most Yakuza stories, as they tend to be quite dramatic. You'll see lots of men crying and screaming, just so you know. But yeah, it's also funny. There's a scene, for example, where Kiwami and Shinoha are in line for a special sales event for that anime they both love, and a random otaku-looking guy overhears them and is surprised that such normal-looking people are talking about something like that. And he wonders if that's because anime went mainstream. I don't know, I just thought it was interesting. And now I do have some complaints when it comes to the art. First of all, look at the cover for volume 1. Honestly, it looks like gay fan art for some martial arts manga. It's not very good. But hey, you might think maybe the other volumes look a bit better. Well, you're wrong. I don't even know what to say about volume 2. And volume 3 looks like a kid was trying to draw a JoJo character. Look at the hips of the guy! Which brings me to my next point. Somebody needs to teach this guy how to draw legs. They just look like a bunch of meat lumped together. And generally, the anatomy is not the best overall. The quality is also inconsistent and a huge minus for me. The brutality is nicely depicted, but it could have done better in my opinion. Maybe I'm judging it too harshly because I don't particularly like the style. What do you think? The reviews on Amazon are overwhelmingly positive. So I'd like to know what you think. So yeah, that was this week's manga. I like Yakuza shit, but I don't know the first thing about ninja. Maybe I should do some research on them. Please let me know what you think of this manga in case you know it. Since it's pretty new, I guess, I don't even know if it's available in English. Also, before I forget, some people on the Amazon reviews were like, oh, this is giving me a BL vibe, and oh, this is a story about love, and you know, all the kind of jazz. But I've only read volume 1, so I don't know if there's anything gonna happen between them, but I don't think so. I mean, I wouldn't complain if it did, but I honestly feel like it's a story about friendship and maybe forgiveness. Maybe they will put the whole war thing behind them or something like that, or come to some sort of agreement. We'll see. Maybe I'll revisit this manga when it's finished. Anyways, once again, hope you had a great Halloween, or have a great Halloween, whatever. Thanks for watching.